Hey out there, Slot Car Land. How's everybody doing this week? I hope you guys enjoyed that episode yesterday. I really want to thank Craig again for sending that stuff. It was really nice of him to do that, and I want to thank him again for that, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Today we're going to talk about bodies, and what bodies can fit on what chassis, and all of that stuff. We're going to cover basically 3 areas. I'm not going to cover T-Jets because we all know what fits on a T-Jet. They have to have posts and all that stuff, so we all know that. So we're not going to go there. But we're going to take a look at Tyco. We're going to take a look at Johnny Lightning, Auto World, AFX, Aurora area. And then we're going to take a look at Lifelike, Amrec, Rocor, and I believe the Cox Chassis as well. I don't have a Cox, but it's pretty much the same as this one right here. So we'll cover all that. So we're going to start with Tyco. And what I have at Tyco's is I have a Tyco Pro, a HP2, and, my HP7's missing a shoe. What the heck happened to my HP7? It all fell apart. Okay. An HP7. And then we have a wide pan 44X2 and a narrow chassis 44X2. So that's what we're going to look at. And of course, you know, we've got wide bodies, we've got narrow bodies, you got F1 bodies, you've got the narrow bodies, which is like the Lambo, the Twin Mill. I think there's a couple others that I can't name right off the top of my head, but we'll get there. So we're going to start down on the bottom end, which is the Tyco Pro. This is actually the second iteration of the Tyco Pro. And basically, in the older stuff, so as you can see, I actually fixed this one, and now all of a sudden it's broke again. And which tells me somebody's been messing in my box because the bottom tab is all screwed up too. So, but this is the HP7. As you can see, we've got 2 notches for your long and short. Now, the Tyco Pro, you've only got a short wheelbase. So, the Porsche, this Porsche, which this is actually from an HP2 car, so it'll also transfer to your Tyco Pro. So you've got that covered. You can also go, they don't quite stay on as well. No, okay. So you can't go to the 440X2s or the 440s because they share the essential thing. But your older cars can go between your Tyco, can go between your Pros and your HP2s, and I believe you can also go. If I had a long wheelbase body, we'll just take his front wheels off. You can go to your HP7s if you got enough rear. He's got a tall rear tire on here, but you can go to your HP7. So those will all cross over, and your newer cars can go the other direction as well. As you can see, you can put your newer Tyco bodies on your older Tyco cars. I think the NASCAR cars will go, let's see here. Where's my Pontiac? your newer bodies can go your HP7, your HP2, all the way down. If I can get it centered. They don't quite fit quite right, but they're close. There we go. Your Tyco Pro. So there's some that will, some that won't. You can't go old to new, but you can go new to old when you get into your Tycos. So you can't take a Tyco and go somewhere else with it unless you do some modifications. So Tycos can only basically go with your Tyco cars. And then, of course, you've got your Indy car, your narrow chassis here that some of your narrow bodies can fit on, but you can't go to the wide. And these narrow bodies don't really fit anything going down the other direction, your HP7, your HP2, and your Tyco Pro. So that's basically Tyco. You've got your Tyco Pro, your HP2, HP7, 44X2s, or yeah, 44X2 and your 440s, which are basically the same thing. The chassis is the same between the 44X2 and the 440. It's just your traction magnet is different, but the chassis design is exactly the same. So that's Tyco. Once again, you can't take Tyco to another make, but you can kind of mess around within your Tyco family. Let's cover the other easy one here. Let's talk about your let's talk about your Lifelikes, your Amrex, your Rocors, and your Coxes, your Cox Chassis. Now, Cox Chassis is basically this one, with the slide-in pin on the front. This is the second iteration of the Amrex, which is the sport, what they call the sport chassis. This body fits on there really tight, which is this one here. This also carried slightly over into the Rocor days, so you might find a Rocor chassis that looks like this as well. Then you've got your next step up, which is a Rocor M chassis, which is basically the same as your Lifelike M chassis. And then, of course, you have the Lifelike T chassis, which, and I believe that the new owners of Lifelike are still using this chassis. Now, everything in this is interchangeable. They never changed the body mounts from the beginning all the way through to current. So you can mix match. You can put your Datsun. If I get it on here right. There we go. You can put your Datsun, your Amrex Datsun on your T chassis Lifelike if you want. You can put your NASCAR car. I can mount it the right way here. Am I missing? What am I missing here? There we go. I'm overshooting for some reason here. Alright, I did this before. Just needs to cooperate. There we go. You can put your NASCAR, your Lifelike NASCAR cars on your Amrex chassis. So they go either way, every way. The wheelbases are all the same. The body mounts are all the same. So you can go any way you want with your Lifelike, Amrex, Rocor, and Cox cars. The bodies are interchangeable between all the chassis they made. They never changed the mounting points. They've never changed the wheelbases or anything. So everything is interchangeable. Once again, though, you cannot leave that family. You can't take this body and go to Tyco without doing some major, mount changing. You can't take this and go the other way to AFX and Tomei either. So you got to stay within the family. So that's one you can't move out of the family. So, but it's kind of cool to be able to run your NASCAR cars on the older AMREC bodies from the 80s. So you've got, you know, a 90s Taurus on an 80s chassis, which is kind of cool. So that's kind of a neat thing that you can do with those cars. So now let's talk about the big area here. Let's go AFX, Aurora, Tomei, Johnny Lightning, Auto World. Of course, let's just start off the bat and talk about the newest cars, which is the Mega Gs and the Mega G Plus. Now, the Mega G Plus is the long chassis. You can change the only thing, like I did in the episode, they come with the NASCAR body. The only body outside of this that'll fit this with the tiny modification is the Peugeot. The Audi body will not fit. Doesn't have enough clearance up in here for the motor. So, but you can put your Peugeot body on your Mega G Plus as long as it's the long chassis. Now I don't know if they make a Mega G Plus short chassis. I haven't seen one. I'm assuming they will to fit this car, to fit the Ford GT or the some of the older cars, like maybe the Cobra and the Chaparral and that. So, but that's covering those just really quick. Now the short chassis, regular Mega G car. Now this body here is one of the old Auto World, or well, no, this is one of the old pullback Johnny Lightning bodies. Short wheelbase with the body clip. You can put that body on there. This body can go from your Mega G to your Super G. Let's see. Get some bodies off of here. To your SRT Turbo. Your regular, basically this body will go anywhere within the family. Your regular Tomei Turbo. And of course, it can go to your non-Magna Traction or the original AFX and your Magna Traction car. And, you know, of course, it can go to your Johnny Lightning X-Tractions and your X-Tractions Ultra G. So you can go the other way. You can also put this. It does have enough, I believe, has enough headroom. At least I thought it did. No. So, but it won't fit on your Magna Traction car. But this body will go. Hold on a sec. Here it is. You can run your GT40 on your G Plus chassis. So you can go there. It won't go on the Magna Traction and it won't go on the non-mag, but it can go here. So it can take the span from Mega G short chassis all the way back down the line to the G Plus car. So, and your G Plus bodies, like your Daytona, can run up the ladder as well. Your Tomei Turbo, which actually looks really sweet with those wheels on it. Your SRT, you can go there. You can go up to your Super G. There you go. And it can go right up the line to the short chassis Mega G. So as you can see, there's some crossing over that you can do with your cars. The inline motors are pretty nice. You can go up and down the scale with your older bodies to your newer bodies to everything else. You can also go with your Ultra G cars. Of course, you know these would fit your non-mag, your Magna Traction. They will fit the Turbo and the SRT. They are a little high. As you can see a lot of chassis underneath of there. But they do fit. They just look kind of funky. Look kind of high, look kind of big. And of course you can use your Tomei bodies on your G Plus car. Looks pretty good. These bodies here with your large cockpits and everything will also fit your Magna Traction cars. So you got a lot of play within the Aurora, Tomei, Auto World, Johnny Lightning area. Now there is one thing when you get to your 4 gears that we all know. As you know, the 4-gear chassis are the same as they were in the old days, but they switched to using the tabs for bodies. So you can't take an old, well you can go this way. You can take the old bodies and put them on the new chassis because they still have the hole for the screw. But you can't go the other way. You can't take the new bodies like the funny cars and this and go to the older chassis because these don't have a post and these don't have tabs. So that's the only disadvantage there with the 4 gears that you come to. Now there's some bodies within the Aurora family that you might think can go one way, but they can't. You all know that the 240Z was available in Magna Traction. I'm not sure about non-mag. I can't remember if it went there. But it was available in Magna Traction. It was available in, I believe it also came out in the Super Magna Traction. And it came out in the G+. But the body that came with the original Magna Traction chassis, now as you see, this will fit. This is not a body that came off a Super G+. This came off of a Magna Traction car. But as you can see, the Super Magna Traction will fit. But when you try to, whoop, I dropped it. Where'd he go? There he is. As you can see, when you go with this one to the G+, you can see the pickup shoes hit the bottom of the bumper. So obviously the body that they did for the G Plus car was retooled somewhere along the line to make it fit the G Plus chassis. So you got to watch your 240Zs when it comes to that to make sure that they're either the right body to fit that. Because obviously, and I don't have one, or I could show you what the difference is. I might have to find one so we can take a look at the differences between the Magna Traction 240Z and the body that came on the G Plus car that was a 240Z. So, the other thing you want to watch out for are your Porsche bodies. This is, man, somebody screwed this body up. I mean, this wasn't this way. Somebody broke this, but my kids are starting to mess with stuff they shouldn't mess with. This is an older AFX body. This came on, I believe, the regular Tomei Turbo. This is the new body that came with the Mega G. There we go. It came with the Mega G. And if you put this body on here, you'll see a definite difference. If you look at the height that body sits on there, how high that is. You take this off, you put the body that came with it on it, and you'll see how much lower it sits. So they retooled the connections on this body. So if you want to go the other way with this car, which you can take this car, this body, which I would suggest you use this one from the Mega G. But it can go down the line. Now it sits a little weird on the Super G chassis. The nose is a little high for some reason. Whoop. And it will fit. Dang it, if I can hold on to it. Oh no, it won't fit the G Plus, that's right. It won't fit the G Plus because of the clip coming across here and the body piece right there. But it will go on, it fits a little wonky on here, on your Super G. But as you can see, when you come into the family of AFX, Tyco, and, AFX, Auto World, Johnny Lightning, Tomei, you've got a lot of play features to work with. And once again, you can't take that group and go to these other groups. They won't work without modification. But you've got a lot of, things to work with. Now, you can also use your Mega Gs and your Super Gs with a few Hot Wheels, as like we did with this car here. Now, there's also, I've seen some people doing them with the Mega Gs, with the long wheelbase Mega Gs, and with your Auto World 4 gears. So that is some things that you can do. All right, so I hope that helps everybody out. I hope that kind of explains some things, and hope that helps you guys try and figure out what you can use, where, and how, and all that stuff. So that's today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are doing fine. I hope you're racing a lot of slot cars and having a lot of fun. And next week we'll be back to doing the bi-weekly featured car. And after that, we'll be doing another episode. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'll probably let you guys know during the bi-weekly featured car. So keep racing slot cars, keep the wheels on the downside, and keep hitting that like button, keep sharing, and keep subscribing if you haven't. And I'll see you guys next week. Catch you later. Bye.